Oh, so you're doing it from your.
Yes, it's MacGyver. Don't worry about it.
I used to, whenever I have problems with the hospital, I used to log the things to walk the cells in to see what was going on.
Yeah.
From wherever they were at. Yeah, and I said, you guys, if they were able to do that, people were not click, click, click. I love it, click, click, click. It's like, okay, they can fix my problem.
Huh. All right. Well, after much ado or much wait, I think this should be working. Is it updating still?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to the next screen.
Okay. So today we're talking about streaming services. I'll give it a second. All good. Okay. So today we're talking about streaming services. So I'm going to just be going over, oh, here's the slide. Yeah, today we will be looking at different streaming services. We will be looking at their features, their prices, and some of the shows that are offered by these streaming services. So if you have any questions during this presentation, yeah. Okay.
So I guess I'm not taking advantage of a lot of stuff because I didn't want that out there.
Yeah.
Is there any other alternative?
Well,
I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but the problem is if you want to use an online streaming service,
You know, my TV and all.
yeah, if you want to use an online streaming service, that implies giving a credit card information. Now, for the record, they're definitely one of the more like secure websites on the internet.
But don't they sell, I mean, I know I get stuff, what happened was I registered with, to vote. And my middle initial is a J.
Uh-huh.
Someone made it a T. So I get mail that addressed the Diane T, and I know it came from them.
Wow.
So I know that these things, like even, my drivers, you don't know what's gonna happen.
So-
That was always my fear. So I know when I get stuff that says T. was
It came from that one, yeah.
That T person who put the T, well, actually, I tried to better.
Yeah.
I know.
So that is actually interesting that happened. The Federal Trade Commission allows companies to sell information as long as they detail it in their privacy policies. So when you sign up for a service like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, they'll have you consent to a privacy.
Yeah, then you usually say
Yeah, or you can't use it.
yes.
Yeah.
So you're not-
Yes, but let me be very clear. If you actually read into those privacy policies, I'm taking a class on this now, it's really interesting. If you read into those privacy policies, they'll say stuff like, we, Netflix Incorporated, are allowed to sell your data, hold on, data to third-party advertisers or other parties that may be relevant. Now, what does data mean? It does not mean credit card information. No, 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 no.
If they have your name and date of birth or whatever from that credit card.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be. So they can trade what they're gonna be trading to advertisers. They're not gonna be trading like Facebook, for example. Facebook is not gonna be trading. Well, they will be trading your birthday, but it's not about trading data with advertisers so the advertisers could steal your identity. It's more like Facebook compiles a bunch of information about you, and then advertisers find that information extremely valuable because they can then advertise to you with way better specificity. So Facebook figures out you have a dog. You post a picture of a dog, or you message somebody about your dog, you'll start getting advertisements for dog food, dog collars, stuff like that. That is because Facebook, using machine learning, has deciphered that you own a dog and will now tell advertisers you own a dog. They will not tell advertisers how to steal your identity. If any company were to sell credit card info or social security numbers or stuff like that, the Federal Trade Commission would smite them with the wrath of God. Like that company would die. It's not even just that. If a company fails to adequately protect that information, they can be sued by the government. So there was an example of like a company in California who, or there's a lot of this in the news actually. Sometimes you'll hear like every 1 or 2 years, some company has a big data leak and usernames and encrypted passwords get out. The government will sue that company for millions of dollars. Yeah. You're still compromised, but credit card numbers are, I don't think it's such an issue. Companies cannot, they can sell stuff advertisers find useful, but advertisers don't care about your credit card information. They don't care about that. Advertisers care about you, like your qualities, so that they can advertise to those qualities. They don't care about your credit card. Yeah. No, you're all good. What's up?
Yesterday on the news, they showed a lady who was in Disneyland,
Uh-huh.
who was trapped by that whole thing that you remember.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
How now? Apparently somebody found this,
I don't think that they
what
could.
did they, yeah, somebody puts a little bit of an apple thing,
Yeah.
that they can trap you,
On
and
it.
you don't even know about. Do you know anything about that?
It's
It's scary.
What, like where you were?
Everything. And but,
Everything.
so the point I'm trying to make is, if I leave my phone at home, can I still be tracked?
Well, you'll be tracked as well.
Yeah.
And no, and when you do that, like I signed up for Uber. When I signed up for Uber, they know where I am. They give me a price.
No, this is an app. It's an Apple thing.
You're talking about like an actual little piece of hardware.
Yes.
All right. So look,
Somebody puts it on you, like, you will put it on me and I don't.
okay, that Apple is not selling that. If they are, it's not supposed to be used in that way.
Apple is, it's from Apple, you get an app and you apply for it or something. But they don't know.
So I'm almost certain, I'm almost certain that that device is supposed to be used for something called Find My,
Yeah, find your phone.
Find Your Phone. But then you can also stick it on your keys, and then you can track your keys, which is actually useful. Now, creepy guy can, as a matter of fact, do that. But again, you can also get hit by a car or struck by lightning. I don't know.
And then eventually they get a message on their phone. Eventually they get a message on their phone.
What?
That's how you know that this little device has been, they've been tagged.
So anybody could get this device.
All right, so
You know what
I know what you're talking about. So as I list, okay, tracking is not new. If you have a smartphone, you're being tracked. Not by some like shady dude in a basement, but by a shady corporation in Washington State. So I'm carrying my iPhone. That means a bunch of nerds in Palo Alto know I'm on Roosevelt Island right now. Okay. Now, the thing, my reaction, my personal reaction, and this is from somebody taking 2 classes on privacy and security, right? You could, in fact, be tracked by this little device. You could also be hit by light. You could also get hit by a car. Like bad things can happen. This is a misuse of technology that was whoever this woman is, someone is being very creepy to her. But like, I mean, it just, I don't know.
Maybe it's her husband.
It could be her husband, who knows? I wouldn't, yeah, yes.
So you gotta go through everything she owns, luggage, all luggage, the whole thing that actually fell out.
Okay, so I personally wouldn't worry about this for the same reason I don't constantly worry about being struck by lightning, because like it is terrible. It's terrible that somebody exploited this technology the way that they did. But again, the chances of somebody doing that are very low. If somebody wants to track you, they can also like install something on your phone or just they know your habits or whatever. But like stalking as a practice is absolutely not
So
new.
if somebody now just comes and puts this little thing in my pocket,
Yeah,
I mean, then the same thing, I would never know.
conceivably, yeah. But again, the chances of that are tiny. Is also, I mean, that's like, yeah, for sure. This is also, that's like a hell of a financial investment too, because they need to purchase the device that they're tracking you with, which I imagine is not cheap. Yeah. It's gotta be expensive and you have to apply for it. And not only that, but if they do catch you doing something like this, you're going to prison. There's no ambiguity. Like,
But I don't think they can find out who did it.
no. If you're telling me they have to apply for this device, that means the device imprinted into its hardware has a little written bit of information that says this device belongs to so and so. So if they find this thing on you and you don't know about it, that person's going to jail. There's no ambiguity in the evidence there. It's a dangerous game for the other person to be playing too, because it's extremely, yeah, because it's like fear mongering. It's extremely it's extremely implicating if they find it. That's game over for you pretty much, because they like, I'm almost certain, and I don't really know this device that well, but I'm guessing, knowing Apple, if you have to apply for it, more than likely when they give you this device it is minted into the device who originally purchased it, which means if you were tracked by something like this and it went to court, that person's screwed.
But it doesn't say anything on the device. because
No.
it's not bouncing on people's cards. Doesn't say much.
Really?
Yeah, you should Google it and bring it up from that.
Jeez.
It's a little round thing.
It's a little.
I'm like picturing in my head what you're talking about. I vaguely know what you're talking about. Let's talk about streaming and then we can go back to this. But okay. We're going to talk about streaming services. Streaming is, that's a great question. I shouldn't just barrel ahead without explaining. So streaming is, you imagine like turning your computer into a little movie theater. A little movie theater. So streaming, generally speaking, in very vague terms, is when you watch a video on a device. That's it. Yeah.
I have Netflix and my daughter always says, only play, don't download. What is the difference?
So that's a great question too. If you play something, your computer will temporarily take in the video you're watching. Then when you're done, deletes it. Something like that. Or actually, like if you're watching a movie and you're at minute 50, your computer has like minute 50 downloaded. That's it. It doesn't have anything before or after that. It just has this like one little minute of the movie downloaded. And then you go to the next minute, it deletes that minute. And that way it doesn't take up so much space, right? That's pretty much what streaming is. Streaming is like your computer, you're watching like a 10-minute video, it displays minute 1, and then downloads minute 2, it displays minute 2, downloads minute 3, displays minute 3, as opposed to downloading the entire video, which could take up a lot of space because videos infamously are one of the biggest file types. If you have like an hour and a half long movie in 60 frames per second, yeah, we're talking a few gigabytes at least. Yeah.
I don't need play.
Yeah, you should play because it takes up way less space.
Just play, don't download.
Yeah. But all streaming is you pay somebody, or a lot of streaming is free. Like YouTube, for example, is streaming. So for YouTube, you go to Google, someone's published a video somewhere, and then you just watch the video. You're not downloading it to your computer. It's not going to take up any space. All you're doing is watching a video that passes through your computer without actually staying there. That's why it's called streaming.
So it's kind of temporary.
Exactly, yeah, the space at least, yeah.
Okay, now I get it. Now you can do the same thing on yourself. You're just viewing, yeah.
So YouTube and all of these services I'm about to go over have versions both on the PC and on the phone. And I have a few of them both on both devices. So
Can you take Siri off of your phone?
you can disable it. I don't think you can delete it. Yeah, I can show you how to do that. You can't remove Siri from an iPhone. But you can remove, you can disable it.
So if you want to say something from your phone and put it on your TV, you do that?
Yes, some TVs, like that TV is acting stupid, but hypothetically, I could display stuff from my phone. Yeah. Okay, let's go over some of the streaming services. So streaming is like, and all of these are services you pay a monthly fee for, and then while you pay that monthly fee, you can then go to the service and watch all the stuff you want for free.
Did you hear that, Elon Musk is gonna monetize, Twitter?
What do you mean monetize it? He's so annoying.
He's going to have, when he buys, Twitter, he's gonna monetize it. You have to pay for it.
It probably isn't that you have to pay for it because that would kill a lot of users.
Yeah.
He'll probably make like a Twitter Pro or something like that. Yeah, like if he monetized it, it would kill the platform.
I would think so.
Yeah, because you're you know,
Defeating the purpose.
yeah, which is yeah, exactly. But anyways,
Kids don't have that time.
no, oh my God, no. All right, so first one we'll go over El Clasico, Netflix. Everyone, I'm assuming pretty much everyone here has heard of it. So Netflix, as is the case with every other service that I'm going to show you, there is a PC version, or there's a computer version, and there's a phone version. So you can access this on a Windows PC, on a Mac. You can access it on an Android, on an iPhone.
That's the big problem is that, they got me sharing, the Netflix.
Yeah, you're telling me. I log onto my Netflix account and there's like recommendations for shows I would never watch. And it's because like my sister loaned out our account to her friends, which is so annoying. Like I'd be like, oh, Augustine, do you want to continue watching Bridgerton? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I sure, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm not watching it right now, but Netflix thinks I am. Anyways, here's some basic information about Netflix. You have the different pricing plans. So basic, standard, and premium. Now you might be asking, what does that mean? You get access to everything on Netflix, regardless of how much you're paying. So basic or premium, you would still be able to see the same shows. But basic is standard definition. And then standard is high definition, which seems a little silly, but it is. And then premium, you get like ultra HD. Yeah, so if you pay like increasing prices, then you get better picture quality. Yeah. So again, to be very clear, the way streaming works is you pay this monthly fee, and then as long as you're paying the monthly fee, you could watch Bridgerton 800 times in a row. It's still going to cost you $10 a month, which I'm sure you're thrilled to hear. Now, Netflix has a bunch of different services. There's a whole lot of movies. I mean, if you ever want to just have like a movie night, you don't know what you want to watch, which is kind of a very modern concept, I think. If you want to have a movie night, then you can just scroll through Netflix, see what they offer. I mean, Netflix, even though my algorithm is like corrupted and tainted because some like teenager has been watching random BS, it still recommends some interesting stuff. And there are actually a bunch of pretty good movies. I've seen a few good movies. I don't know what your movie tastes are, but there are some pretty good movies on Netflix. Yeah.
I just started watching on Netflix, The $1 Billion Code.
The $1 Billion Code.
Which is, the Google Earth.
Yeah.
It's explaining it's true story. It's telling you how it all started, and some kids in Germany, according before Google actually took it, some kids in Germany actually revised it before Google.
Really?
Really, only 4 episodes to it, so it's only
That's cool. I should watch that. That sounds really interesting. Yeah. You know, Netflix actually in the early 2000s ran a competition with a prize money, the prize bank of like 25 million, or maybe it wasn't that. Okay, it was a big prize bank. 1 million, 5 million, or something like that. A lot of money. And the challenge was to recommend, like to have the best recommendation system. So if you submitted your program that would recommend movies to users, whoever devised the best recommendation system would be awarded by Netflix, and then Netflix would purchase the system. Yeah, and that actually has a very dramatic story too. Fun fact, first place in that competition was submitted 20 minutes before second place. So imagine being, and this took like months of research and development. Imagine being on the team that submitted 20 minutes after. Yeah, that's a funny thing. Yeah, my professors have told that story like 5 times so far, like collectively between them. Yeah. Yeah, Netflix has shows like The Queen's Gambit, which is about like a, okay, that was great. She loved it. It was about people playing chess. Not people playing chess. It's about, I don't know her name, but Joy. Is she a real, is it like a historical show or is it like a, The Queen's Gambit? And it's about this woman who plays chess and it's apparently very good. Oh yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy's a good actress. You have House of Cards, Money Heist, which when I went to Columbia to visit my cousins, and I'm talking the country, not the university. When I went to Columbia, they were like, Agustin, why haven't you watched Money Heist? Like, they were all really, really obsessed with Money Heist, so apparently it's good. Peaky Blinders, which is about like early 1900s English gangsters, I think. And then Squid Games, which is like a very popular and also very violent. So yeah, I won't like recommend it to you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next service I'll go over is Amazon Prime Video. So basically this is actually tied to your Prime subscription. So Amazon offers a service called Amazon Prime, which is $14.99 per month. And what Prime does is, as long as it's active, as long as you're paying the fee, you get better deals on Amazon, just like in general. So a Prime user will find lower prices on certain products. They get shipping faster, and they get access to Prime Video. Now, Prime Video has some shows on it. I watched like a show with my brother on this, for example, and it has a lot of movies. So there are a lot of movies that are for free. So if you have Prime Video, then you just gain access to a bunch of movies for free. You can watch them as much as you like. And if you have Prime, there are other movies you still need to pay for. But if you have Prime, it'll cost like $3 to watch the movie, as opposed to like 10. So again, 15 per month. And there's a few different offerings. It has a lot of movies. Like it's really more of a, this is just something I've come to understand. Prime Video is more like movie focused, whereas Netflix has just a bunch of like hit TV shows. Anybody have any questions so far?
Yeah, backing up to Netflix, you said it was TV, phone, and computer.
Yeah.
Do you have to sign up for one or the other?
Nope. No. Excellent question. Excellent
And
question.
how do you
No.
get on the TV?
You literally, it'll just tell you. Like there'll be like if you go like, yeah, so like if you got like a smart TV, go to the Netflix program, and then it'll show a box saying this is how you sign in, which might entail like going to the internet, punching in a little code, and then that's how you log in. But yeah, it's an excellent question. Can you remind me what your name is?
What, my name?
Yeah. Leah. Okay, so Leah asked an excellent question, which is just if you're watching Netflix on your phone, your TV, your computer, do you need to pay separately for each device? And the answer is no. The idea behind all of these streaming services is you pay a monthly fee to watch as much as you want wherever you are, on whatever device. So that means if you pay the $15.50 per month, that means I could watch it on my computer, and then I could go to the subway and watch it on my phone, then I can go home and watch it on my TV, whatever. It's all fine. You're not going to increase or decrease how much you pay. Cool. Same thing with Prime Video. Does anybody have any other questions? No? Okay, cool.
Did you have more than one of these things?
A lot of people do. Yeah, my family does.
Yeah, my daughter, actually, she's calling me. I do have access to Amazon Prime. I don't do that one as much as I do Netflix. Netflix is like my favorite, and then there's Hulu.
Oh, I didn't even include Hulu.
But
Bro.
if you do Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah,
That means you have to have Amazon regular.
yeah, but that's free. That's just something you sign up for. It's not like an Amazon account is free. Amazon Prime is like a privileged
Which one
Amazon.
Amazon? Regular.
What's that?
Which one Amazon?
So everything that is on, okay, so Amazon is like an online store, right? Everything you can buy on Amazon is available to everyone, regardless of if you paid for Prime. But Prime users get better prices
And delivery.
and better delivery, and they have access to the
So
streaming.
there's a surcharge to the Prime.
What's that?
So there's a surcharge.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you can see it as a good investment if you purchase a lot of stuff online.
Like Costco.
That's a great analogy. It's a lot like Costco. You pay your whatever fee, which fun fact, Costco actually makes more money off of that. They make more money off of that than they do actually selling groceries, which is an interesting business model. Anyways, I didn't include Hulu, which I feel so stupid about.
Is there any other streaming service? What is Pandora?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing that I'm-
We'll go into that, yeah. What did you ask?
Pandora.
We'll get into Pandora. Yeah. So another is Hulu. I forgot to make a slide for it, but I'll just explain it. I don't know how much it costs. Let's see how much it costs. Actually, I don't know. Hulu is probably gonna be like $15 per month, give or take. And it's the same. It offers TV shows, movies, stuff like that.
Which one is that? Google?
Hulu. You know, like a hula hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't it used to be free or something?
Yeah, it used to actually, and then they made it paid. But Hulu has a few, I think they're more like TV show centric than they are movies.
But they have
They have some movies, and they have some really funny TV shows. Like, it's kind of raunchy, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is really funny, and it's on. Oh yeah, Murder Hotel or something with like an outrageous name. Yeah, it's on Hulu. Hulu is also a pretty good streaming service.
Is it possible to watch one movie on the
Well, no, like you can't pay Netflix $10 to watch one of their movies. I don't think. Maybe you can.
Sometimes they give that 3 months membership in. I try,
Yeah. All of these would give you a free trial.
for a month.
Yeah.
But they have-
Yeah. Then we have HBO Max. Now, I love HBO Max. And I'll tell you why. HBO Max has 2 pricing plans, which is I think a little silly, but it is what it is. So you can watch HBO Max for $10 per month, but then you get ads. You get ads. You can then, or you can pay $15 per month, and then you don't get any ads. Yeah.
But I see Showtime and HBO Max and all these other, streaming
Yeah, those aren't part of Hulu. And that's probably just how they're displayed on your TV. Yeah, they're not part of Hulu.
I don't have to pay, extra to see something, because it does say.
Yeah.
Well, it does come up on their Hulu.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Now HBO Max has like pretty much everything published by HBO. So that is great because it means you can watch like The Sopranos. That's all that matters. If I told you you can watch The Sopranos, that should be the only marketing I have to do. But HBO Max lets you watch The Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones, Band of Brothers. There's a lot, I mean, and every like movie made by HBO. So they have a really good selection. Yeah. Did you have a question? No. Yeah. So
Yeah,
HBO.
you have HBO on TV, but you have HBO on the-
So if you like, because you have to pay that, yeah. So you have to like pay the cable company extra for HBO, right?
Right.
That doesn't give you access to HBO Max. If you want HBO Max, you have to pay
Even more.
Got to fork over a little more. Yeah. But honestly, I'm gonna tell you something. Again, Sopranos. It's about mafiosos, so I don't need to tell you it's violent, but it is violent. But it's really good. I would recommend it. It's like 90s. It's a good. James Gandolfini's an amazing actor. That is something you learn from watching that show. Anyways, Apple TV Plus. Because Apple didn't have enough stuff going for it, it had to make a streaming service. So they did. It costs $5 per month. And yeah, I don't really know that much. It is cheap. I'll give it that much, but I admittedly don't know that much about it. I've never really used it. I know a few, yeah, some people have it. I know a few people. Oh, okay, cool.
So I got a year for free. So, every now and then they have something new, like, they had the truth be told, I like that, they had.
What, how do you pay for it?
Well, the first year was free, came on my telephone.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you have to find out when it expires, so I can cut it off.
But all of this stuff now, in terms of streaming, so we have Apple TV and then we have Apple News on your phone. I mean, there's so many, you know, you can't watch the news unless somebody says this. You have to have Apple News to be able to access this news.
Oh yeah, that's a different subscription.
So every application, like your phone, so the news is different from this.
Yeah.
This is basically entertainment.
Yes, this is gonna be like TV shows. News is news. Apple News, actually, I've been considering getting it or subscribing to it because,
They block a lot of stuff.
yeah, behind a paywall. But if you pay for the paywall, then you gain access to a lot of news services that each have their own paywalls. But then, no. What I'm saying is, like the New York Times, for example, after a few views of their articles, you have to pay them. But I think if you have Apple News, you just pay Apple and then you gain access to all these articles. Or I'm completely wrong, but you could look into that if you want. Disney Plus. I'm sure all of you will be extremely shocked to hear that Disney Plus has Disney movies on it. Yes, I know. They're pretty cheap too. They're $8 a month. So if you want to watch Disney movies. Now, Disney does not mean Snow White. It means Snow White and like all the Pixar movies. So those are pretty good movies. And all like the Marvel movies. So like Avengers, stuff like that. All the Star Wars movies because, oh, and all like, because they bought Fox too. So like, you know, Disney is like classic, like evil empire corporation. Fox, because you can watch like The Simpsons on Disney Plus. Yeah. So I mean, anything under Marvel, Star Wars, Fox Entertainment's like The Simpsons. And of course Disney you could watch here. So I could watch on the same streaming service, I could watch WALL-E and The Simpsons, which I think is funny. And it's not terribly expensive. Also, whenever new Disney movies come out, they'll be playing in theaters and on Disney Plus. So as soon as a Disney movie comes out, you can actually, it's like as soon as it like is released, you can then just watch it from your home if you want to. If you have grandkids, you want to entertain them, you could consider getting this. I don't know. I mean, what do you mean? Oh, like yeah, they changed their autonomy or something like that. So they had to wait, no. They made it so
They have to pay taxes now. Before they were their own entity, they were their own kingdom. Now,
it's like the Vatican. Yeah, DeSantis. Yeah. I think that actually, I think somehow that made it so Florida taxpayers had to pay more taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you just passed that.
Yeah.
Florida did pay taxes, but now they're
Yeah. I didn't even know that Disney was like the Vatican. That's kind of funny. Well, the Vatican is actually a country, and Disney was more of a fiefdom. Is there like a Disney police force?
Probably.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Probably. I mean, imagine being on like DPD, right? It's pretty funny. Okay, then we get into music services. So you actually brought up Pandora. This is the section where I talk about Pandora and stuff like. So some of you may have heard of Spotify before. I think this is the most popular music service. So this is a lot like Netflix, where you pay a monthly fee and then you gain unlimited access to a certain amount of content. Spotify is the same way. So you pay $10 a month and then you can listen to all the music you want. I have Spotify. In fact, it's like probably one of the most important apps on my phone because I love listening to music. So if you look at my phone, Spotify's in the corner at all times so that I can access it really easily. I know you can't really see it very well.
Is Pandora free though? Yeah, because you said this is like.
Yeah, well, I'll get into that. So Spotify is actually kind of fun to use. You can like, so you can search for anything with somebody in a song.
There are 4 of you here. 4 of you.
Oh, okay. Old McDonald.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, duh.
I can't believe that hesitation in your voice. 4 American women cannot name a single song.
Because we weren't expecting that.
You have to think on your toes. That's what this class teaches you. You gotta be prepared for it. You know?
Do we get on McDonald's?
It's probably not a song, it's a rhyme or something. Maybe I do it.
The Wi-Fi, give me a moment.
Oh, yes, yeah. Reception here. It was like, oh, who wants a pizza? Who wants a pizza? It's like, what?
A few of my favorite things.
Right.
These are a few. Yeah, so Spotify has some cool features where you can make big playlists of things. Spotify has also thrown machine learning into the mix, like AI stuff. So they have like, for example, you listen to this song, and then they'll show you, would you like to listen to this song? Sometimes the suggestions are completely stupid and kind of outrageous. And it's like Sirius XM or FM or something like that. Yeah, that's another one. I don't really know that much about it, but I know you can like subscribe and then get like yeah, it's like an exclusive radio network.
Howard Stern, that's a great.
Is he still, he's still alive?
No, he's not as massive. Oh, Carl, yes. Right. I mean, I've never gotten to say it was that.
So he's mature?
You know,
Well, he's quiet. I mean, he's quiet.
Does he still have Robin as his sidekick?
No. Robert, she might be there. But I mean, not.
Because you know she was here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, we're talking about like.
Yeah.
so yes, if you want to listen to Howard Stern talk, you can pay for Sirius XM. I did not include it in this presentation, but he exists and you can go there. Now, thank you. I'm really glad you guys were able to conjure up the name of a song because yes, Spotify has it.
Oh, okay.
Comes 4 o'clock, the new shift.
Uh-huh.
So everybody comes in and the day shift, I'm trying to unravel all the cars, they're not supposed to be 1 shift, but I stay, right? So I would play on all week long, and 3 play mics. And when the evening shift would come, they would all sit down, and when I used to call it happy hour. Sometimes the operator read. So we used to, they keep telling me, no more happy hour.
Please.
Oh
my God, okay, in high school, student government was trying to raise money, okay? And they're trying to raise like $10,000 or something. You know how they did it? They held, I was a senior in high school, they held us hostage, okay? So in between the periods, like the first period, second period, third period of class, you had passing period, like 6 minutes, you have to walk over to your next class, right? See, student government for like 3 or 4 months straight. Actually, you know, I'll play it. We can use Spotify. I can just play it on my phone. And if I hear the first few notes of the song, it like sends this like, it feels like a feeling of dread in my entire being. Here. No, it's this song. It's not even a bad song. It's just
I love that song.
good for you.
Play that at work.
Okay. 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 So picture this. Picture this. You are really tired. It's first period. Then it gets done, and you have to walk over to your English class that is 50 minutes long, but feels 3 hours long. And on your way, trudging through the depressing Illinois high school. It's like a cruel joke. It's like I'm just like, oh, and then this music comes on. They played it for 3 months. I heard it like 9 times per day for 5 days a week. What's that? Yes. We gave them whatever. I would have sawed off my arm. Oh my God. That was the most effective marketing campaign I've ever been subjected to in my entire life. Oh my God. It was like I'm walking the AP stats, which I dejected because I was terrible at it. And it's just, I'm happy. I'm like, make it stop, please, please. Oh my God. So anyways, yeah, you can do that. You want to torture people, you can go to Spotify and listen to music. Another option is Apple Music. This isn't exclusive to iPhones, actually, even though no, if you have an Android, like my friend has an Android and he listens to Apple Music. Apple Music also costs $10 a month and has exactly the same features. There you go. Spotify is a little bit more robust in the sense that if you're interested in Spotify can see what you like to listen to and then suggest stuff that's adjacent to that. And it's pretty good at it. Like sometimes Spotify recommends something to me and I feel like personally insulted that it thinks I like that. But then other times Spotify has recommended me stuff that just like gets me into like an artist. It's like, here's this new artist, try him out. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. Yeah. So Spotify, fun fact, is technically free, but then you get ads. So you can like listen to whatever you want, but then they don't know. They're not going to interrupt the middle of the song, but it'll be like song ad, song ad, song ad. So Spotify like is technically free. That's why I put Spotify Premium as the name of the service, because if you pay $10 a month, you get the premium, which doesn't have any ads. Also, if you have Spotify Premium, you get more of the fun like recommendation stuff. Another thing Spotify does is at the end of the year, so like December, they make a what is it, like your 2021 in music. So like last year, December 2021, had this like cool summary of like all the music I really liked during 2021, stuff like that. It was kind of cool. So Spotify is really fun. You can stream whatever music you like, and there's some fun like artificial intelligence stuff in there to recommend you cool music and like summarize your music tastes in ways you would never expect, like insights into your music taste. Now, they do have some controversies. You may have heard something about Neil Young leaving Spotify or considering leaving Spotify because Joe Rogan, if you've ever heard of him, big bulky guy, I find him annoying. He is a very strong anti-vax dude, and he profits off of Spotify. So some artists on Spotify wanted to leave Spotify because they didn't want to be on the same platform as this outspoken anti-vaxxer. What's that? I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I know, but Neil Young like was like, I'm out. Neil Young doesn't have his music on Spotify. I might have been Joni Mitchell. Yeah, a few artists. Yeah. Also, Spotify doesn't pay its artists that well. Yeah, like you get literally a penny for a stream. Now, if you're getting like a billion streams, that's not a terrible deal, but like, you know, a penny for a stream is like pretty terrible otherwise. A lot. And then they invested in like weapons and arms, yeah, this, and then like the CEO invests that money in like the arms industry or like something. They're like surprisingly slimy. Now, Neil Young did, like, you wouldn't look at like music streaming service and then expect that there'd be a connection to like the arms industry, but then there is. But also it's like Neil Young left Spotify and then went to like Amazon Prime Music. And that's Amazon, which isn't exactly like a paragon of virtue. But anyways, do I still use Spotify? Yes. Do I feel a little weird about it? Also, yes. But all of my playlists are there. So I have these lists of music that I like to listen to. I'll have like I have a playlist for when I'm working out. I have a playlist for whatever. It's a fun service to use. If you want an alternative, go to Apple Music. Costs the same amount of money. Doesn't have as many AI powered stuff in it, but you can still just like listen and use it. You know, that's what's important, really. Then we have Pandora. This is the last streaming service I'm going over. Now, Pandora is interesting. It's not like the other two. It's not like Spotify and iTunes or Apple Music. Pandora is, they use artificial intelligence to make a bunch of radio stations. So, for example, someone please, I know I'm giving you a little more warning this time. Someone please name a song you like. The girl from Impanina. Impanipa. I know the song you're talking about. I just don't know what the girl from what? Impanema? Yeah, that song. So say you really love that song and you want to hear other songs that are like that song. So Pandora will generate the girl from Ipanema radio. So it'll start with that song and then it'll play songs that a computer has analyzed that are similar to that song. And you might find yourself surprised by it. My mom is writing a book, and when she writes her book, oftentimes she'll start, like she's writing, it's like about like the Byzantine Empire and like history. So she'll just start out with one like Byzantine chant, and then she'll get a radio station of it, and it gives her hundreds of songs that sound like it, and it's fun because she hasn't heard them before. So obviously that's always fun to hear. So it's not like you go to Pandora to listen to this specific list of songs. It's more like an exploratory thing, and it is kind of fun. And there was a question. Is someone have a question? No? No? So Pandora has a free edition. So that just means there's going to be ads. I think it's like 1 or 2 songs, or maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then an ad, so on and so forth. Then you have Plus and Premium. Now I actually don't remember what these two do, but they're pretty cheap. So like Pandora Plus is $5. Pandora Premium is 10. So if you want something that's kind of fun and lets you discover new music, then you could do Pandora. Yeah.
Okay, I can www.pandora.com, whatever. Log into Pandora, and we'll play music in general, like a radio station.
You could. It's all just like everything else I've shown you here. You can get it on a TV, computer, or phone. Now for that, yeah, for free, but it'll have ads.
What do you want to know when you sign up? Because I remember when I got this phone, like I was like, oh, you can get this and blah, 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 blah. And I looked it up and they wanted to know, you want a little paranoid.
As you should.
We're giving out information. So I didn't like what they wanted to know, so I didn't do it.
They're gonna want to know your name, billing address, and credit card. That's it.
Well, if you're
And email. They won't need. If you're just signing up for Pandora, you don't need to.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you sign up for this, it goes across the board. And you just get it in day regardless.
Fun fact: if you use Gmail, Gmail has a very robust anti-spam filter.
But usually email,
to sign up for things. I throw my Gmail all around. Yeah, well, sometimes you have to play like whack-a-mole. Sometimes like every few months I'll go into my inbox and I'll find like some email I supposedly subscribed to a few months ago and it's still sending me stuff I never open. So I'll go to the bottom and hit unsubscribe. I think actually recently Gmail has added a feature to like auto unsubscribe. So like every few weeks it'll be like, hey, you haven't opened like the past 40 emails from Orbeez that you signed up for. And then you can, it's just like, do you want to unsubscribe? And you click a little button and then bam, no more emails from Orbeez. Gmail is great for that because it's very much anti-spam. But yeah, Pandora has a lot of radio stations. Now you asked about like general radio. Probably. I mean, I actually don't use Pandora, but I'm sure there's just like a general radio station. Or there's also like, you don't need to base it on a song. There's also like genres or artists. So if you really like The Who, you can listen to The Who radio. It's gonna have a bunch of Who songs, and it's gonna have a bunch of songs that kind of sound like The Who or kind of adjacent in an interesting way. Or if you just want to listen to rock music, you can just go to the rock music radio station and it's gonna have a bunch of rock music. That's it. You can get like more specific with it. But yeah, it's like radio stations, some variability there that adds a little interesting spice. But yeah, that's all I have for streaming services. Does anybody have any further questions? What's that? All of them are apps. If you were to search up the name of anything I just mentioned on the App Store, it will come up.
Okay, so how do you add an app to your phone?
So do you have an Android or an iPhone? So for the Android, you would go to the Play Store. It's going to be a little icon. In fact, here. For the Android, that's a great question to ask. Now, can you guys still see my screen? Okay, awesome. So on the Android, you want to navigate to the app that looks like this. So this is an app store. And then once you're in the Play Store, you can search for things. This is, well, it's a little blurry, but this is what the interface will look like. No, you just use your Google account when you download stuff. That's it. If you download the app for something that has a subscription service, you'll need to sign into the subscription service. Yeah. So like if you download an app that like, I don't know, it's an app, it's like a reminder app that helps you keep track of your tasks. It probably won't ask you for your information. But if you download like Netflix, you're gonna have to enter in your Netflix account, obviously. Yeah. So for you, you'll go to the Play Store, you'll click, can you see my mouse, by the way? Okay, so you'll go up here to the search, and then you can just look up Netflix. And then once you go there, you can find the Netflix app and download it onto your phone. Yeah. Now for the iPhone, so no. If you want to watch a Netflix, it's just if you want to watch Netflix on your phone. That's it. Yeah. So if you want to watch Netflix on your phone, you download the Netflix app onto your TV. It's streaming. You can stream onto your phone, your PC, your TV, whatever. Yes, it's not as though you need it to legitimize the other devices. It's just if you want to sit in the subway and watch your favorite British cooking show, then you can. YouTube, I use YouTube all the time. I have the YouTube app on my phone. YouTube. I use it all the time. Yeah. I use YouTube. No, YouTube is free. There is actually, you can, YouTube is free because the way Google pays for YouTube is with ads. So you'll just get ads before every video. The exception is if you pay for YouTube Premium. which I guess you could qualify as a streaming service. YouTube Premium is just YouTube without ads, pretty much. And you can like, and there's a bunch of little other features, but yeah, YouTube is otherwise free though. You just get some ads. Yeah. Yes, you can. Now you have to pay for these movies, but I've seen a few movies on YouTube. So no. There are some free movies on YouTube still, but it's also like they're like the quality equivalent of like the Comcast free movies section on like your cable TV. I used to watch Jumanji. Ever heard of that movie? I watched that movie like 900,000 million times as a kid because we had Comcast and it was like free on that. What is it called? Like, it's like a little movie, whatever. It was free there, so I watched it a million times.
Why would you get a YouTube app?
You mean like if you can just go to like Safari on your phone or the internet browser on your phone and look up YouTube? Great question. The YouTube app will be faster. It has a cleaner interface. It's just easier to navigate. If you go to that's an excellent question. You have a lot of really good questions today. If you go to just like youtube.com on your phone, it still functions, but like, I'll show you. You don't have to use the app necessarily, but like if I open something on the app, the same. It's just that the interface is going to be a little messier and harder to navigate. I like the app because it's fast and it shows you everything you need and it's more responsive.
So here's the question. Last summer I was part of the group that. Anyway, the whole thing was online, and the person running it recorded us, which already. And they were also using Canvas. So at one point I wanted, and we only had access to Canvas. I copied some of the stuff I couldn't copy. But in my copying process, I discovered that all the lectures and comments, whatever, was on YouTube.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I'm not sure about this. And then of course I did nothing about it. And then the 6 months elapsed, and now I can't find it. So what does that mean? Did they erase it? Did they remove it? Because it didn't go to Canvas?
I am not sure. I understand your concern. If you were in the recording and they didn't tell you that they were publishing it to YouTube,
Well,
that's
I couldn't see it recording. It was the whole thing.
right. Yeah.
I certainly didn't think it was going to go on YouTube.
Yeah. So that is.
Public YouTube, or is there like?
It could, so there's things, you have public, unlisted, and private. Public is anyone can find it, and it will be shown in recommendation feeds. Unlisted in recommendation feeds. So if someone is like, hey, what do you want to watch next? Then maybe it shows them. Unlisted means it's not shown in search results, and it's not recommended to people, but if you give someone a link, they can go to the link and watch the video. Private means only the person who uploaded the video can see it. That's it. Yeah, I suppose, but it's the most secret or whatever. But that is kind of morally dubious that they did that, because they should have let you guys know that, oh, by the way, we'd like to upload this to YouTube, or that the recordings would be uploaded to YouTube. I'm not sure what happened to those recordings. I wish I could tell you with confidence where they went. It could be.
Google it, subsequently.
Sure. Try looking it up on YouTube proper. Like go to youtube.com itself and then look it up there. Don't just Google it. Go to youtube.com and look up the exact same query and see if it comes up. Yeah.
They always say that once something has been on the internet, that it never goes away.
That is true in some respects, but like that's true only if someone downloads the thing that's published. So like, yeah, but if this is some random seminar, I don't think anybody really downloaded it. Like that. Okay, that's not a random summary. So maybe someone could have downloaded it. Okay, so
If somebody else copies it.
Yeah.
they have to make it post it.
exactly, that's what that means. So like, for example, a celebrity gets like an unflattering image leaked onto the internet. That's what people mean when they say, once something's on the internet, it's there forever. Because even if the celebrity deletes the picture, hundreds of thousands of people have already downloaded the picture and are now redistributing it on other platforms. Now, we are not celebrities yet, right? But if like, that's not always true. Because like sometimes you're the only one who really is maintaining this thing on the internet, and then once you delete it, it's gone.
No one can see it.
Unless somebody already downloaded it and published it elsewhere. Yeah. Well, it depends on the medium. If you right click a picture, you can save it to your computer. If you find a video online, you can try to find a way to download it.
So you right click a picture?
Yeah.
Save it?
Yeah. And with videos, it's a bit tougher to your computer. Yes.
And what if you have an app where you don't have like, when you have that?
Control left click.
Control,
On the phone, so to right click on an Apple device, you hold down the control button on your keyboard and then you click.
you click up.
Yeah, so
The-
literally what it looks like on an Apple device, if you just pretend this is an Apple device, is we hold control and then click and it does it like that.
I would use the mouse like that.
Oh, then, yeah, control and click.
Just the one.
And then,
And that's like if you do these things, I teach DSL and
Yeah.
included lessons, pictures and it takes other people 1 minute, it takes me 3 hours. So I want to know how to do it quickly. So if I just have a picture, then I save it and then I copy and paste to wherever I want.
another thing you can do is you just right click the picture and say copy. And then paste it. So if you're making a set of slides, you can copy the picture to your clipboard and then paste it. And that's a quicker way than if you save it and then upload it again. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Diane, did you have a question? That's okay.